What's up, guys? Nick Wood here. I am going to teach you something very valuable today, and that is I'm going to teach you the quickest way to lose a deal. Y'all thought you were going to get on here and I was going to teach you how to get a deal, but today we're going to talk about how to lose a deal, because sometimes learning what not to do is as valuable, and if not more valuable, than learning what to do. I've done sales for 10 years. I've been doing digital real estate for 6-7 years. I have been on a lot of sales calls. I've shadowed a lot of sales calls. I've trained a lot of people to do sales calls. And the quickest way to lose a deal is by being desperate. You want to lose a deal? Be desperate. You want to lose a deal? Have sales breath, which is also being desperate. You want to lose a deal? Show the customer that you need the deal more than they need the deal. And that is the quickest way to turn somebody off and the quickest way to lose a deal. And I know we've all had this experience. Maybe we haven't recognized it, but have you guys ever been into the car lot, or have you guys ever been into, like, we just bought a vacuum, right? We bought a vacuum, some stupid $4,000 vacuum. I can't even remember the name of it. My wife wanted it for her birthday. We go in, this place, some rinky-dink little office. It's on a Friday night. We go in, and you could just tell that they hadn't gotten a sale in weeks. And they were giving us the farm. They were trying to offer us discounts. They were trying to throw in extra cents because they do some oils with this vacuum, and they were adding attachments. And dude, they were offering so much. They were so overly accommodating that it came off desperate. And it made me question. And when she went to go get the vacuum, I turned to my wife and I said, "Are you sure this is legit? Like, this is coming off very desperate. I could just smell it." And there's a smell of desperation. And what I've seen now that we've coached hundreds of students inside of our Digital Landlords program is that when people act desperate, that is the biggest hang up they have, is they get on, and I get it, guys. You haven't gotten your first deal. You might have some kind of, mental block, like, can I do this? Whatever, right? And that first deal, you need it. You want it. And some of us are in a situation financially where we really need it. Like, we really need it. But it's funny because that's the quickest way to lose the deal, is letting the other person know, letting the customer know that you need the deal more than them. So guys, gals, we have to play the game. We have to play hard to get a little bit. We have to be willing to walk away from the deal. The quickest way to get the deal, maybe not the quickest way, but the surest way to guarantee the deal is be willing to walk away from the deal. And I talk about this a lot, and I've talked about this on and off throughout the years, but there's this thing called the law of control. And I'm not sure if that's the actual name of it. That's what I call it. And it is he or she that cares the least, or he or she that appears to care the least, is the one that has ultimate control. And you could probably think of a relationship that you've been in before where either you or the other person cared way less about the relationship than the other person, right? Maybe it was you and you cared way less. And if they went away and you never talked to them again, you didn't care. So you never picked up the calls. You never returned the text. You never thought about, how they felt. And they kept coming back and they kept texting you. And there was, every time you messaged them, there was 17 texts that they messaged you, right? You had control over that. Or maybe it was the other way around. And this is the same game that we play with sales. Guys, you have to remember, it's not just that we think it that way. That is the truth. We have to remember, if we're doing a deal in Detroit, which is a bad example because I would never go into Detroit unless it was some really obscure niche. But if we were going into Detroit, and let's say I was calling a business owner. If the deal, got to remember, guys, if the deal, let's say it's a tree service deal. If the tree service deal in Detroit doesn't work out with Jack, the first guy that we call, who cares? I have probably 20 or 30 or 50 more options to call. I have almost unlimited chances to get somebody. And if it doesn't work in Detroit, I'll find somebody who's outside of Detroit that covers Detroit. I have options. I don't need this guy, right? Or gal. But but if you flip it around, they can't say the same. If they don't do your deal, what's their next option, right? Home Advisor, Angie's List, some other whatever. Now, of course, there's always going to be those cities where maybe there is another lead generator, but they don't know that. We assume that because we know there's some other lead generator, they don't know that. If they say no to your deal, They don't have 50 more options to shop through. You have all the control because you have what they need, and they have a commodity that you want, not need. You want the money, okay? But you can go get the money from anyone. They need you. They need your leads. So we got to start going into these deals. We got to start going from the moment we call these people. From the moment that we hook them, that we call them and offer them free leads. We need to act and portray ourselves as like, hey, I want this to work out. You look like you fit the bill, but if this doesn't work out, make no mistake, like I'm going to go to the next guy, right? And we don't need to say it just like that, but we need to let them know that is the reality. We know that and they know that. Okay. So guys, and this is as I've been, keeping my thumb on the free Facebook group, my program. We've got an entire one-on-one coaching element to our program where we have somebody that's crushing deals right now. He gets on, he shows you guys the strategy and what you need to do to get to 10K in 4 months. We have this thing completely laid out. And the feedback that I'm getting is like a lot of people are losing deals because they're acting too desperate. And they're coming in the group and going, oh my gosh, what should I do? And they're sending the text that sounds desperate. Guys, be okay. This is the takeaway, is be okay and be willing to walk away from a deal. And that, my friends, is exactly how you get the deal. So if we say that the other way, the quickest way to lose a deal is to act desperate. You don't need them as much as they need you.